The computer you're using today, the smartphone in your pocket, or even the car you drive, chances are, all of them contain a technology that traces its roots back to one company, Intel. Intel's innovations are woven into the very fabric of our digital lives. But how did this company, now a titan of the tech world, rise to such prominence? To answer that, we need to travel back over half a century to a time of radical change and unbridled ambition. The story begins in 1968, in the heart of what would soon be known as Silicon Valley. Two visionaries, Gordon Moore and Robert Noyce, were about to change the world. Moore, now famous for Moore's Law, had an uncanny knack for predicting the future of technology. He observed that the number of transistors on a chip would double every 2 years, a prediction that would become the industry's guiding star. Noyce, meanwhile, was already celebrated as the co-inventor of the integrated circuit. Both men had made their mark at Fairchild Semiconductor, a legendary company where the seeds of the modern tech industry were sown. But by the late 1960s, the environment at Fairchild had grown stifling, and the pair yearned for something bigger, a company built on innovation, daring, and a vision for the future. It was in a modest office in Santa Clara, California, with a tiny team and little more than a shared dream, that Intel was born. The company's initial focus was on memory chips, but from the start, Moore and Noyce were driven by a much grander vision. They believed that the microchip could change the world, making computers smaller, more powerful, and accessible to everyone. The culture they fostered was open and collaborative, where smart people were given the freedom to pursue big ideas. In the grainy black and white photographs of those days, you can see the energy and optimism that pulsed through the young company. There was a sense that anything was possible, and for Intel, the adventure was just beginning. Intel's first major breakthrough came in 1971, when the company unveiled the 4004 microprocessor. This tiny chip, smaller than a fingernail, was the world's first commercial microprocessor. In an era when computers filled entire rooms and were the domain of governments and large corporations, the 4004 was nothing short of revolutionary. It was first used in calculators, but its true significance was much greater. It was the ancestor of all modern computers. With the 4004, Intel didn't just invent a new product, it invented a new way of thinking about technology. Suddenly, the idea of a computer on every desk in every home was no longer a fantasy. The age of personal computing had begun. The 4004's success opened the floodgates to innovation. Soon, Intel was introducing more powerful chips, and their reputation for technical excellence was growing. But the company's big break came in 1981, when IBM, the world's largest computer company, made a fateful decision. For its first personal computer, IBM selected Intel's 8088 microprocessor. This partnership proved to be the turning point not just for Intel, but for the entire industry. The combination of IBM's hardware, Intel's chip, and Microsoft's software created a powerful ecosystem that would dominate the computing world for decades. The term Wintel, a blend of Windows and Intel, became shorthand for the unstoppable duo that fueled the personal computer revolution of the 1980s and 90s. As personal computers became household staples, Intel's influence only grew. The company continued to push the boundaries of what was possible, introducing faster and more powerful processors at a dizzying pace. But Intel's genius was not confined to the lab. In the 1990s, the company embarked on a bold new strategy to make its brand a household name. The launch of the Intel Inside campaign was a masterstroke of marketing. With its distinctive jingle and ubiquitous logo, Intel became synonymous with quality and innovation. Consumers began to look for the Intel Inside sticker on their computers, and the company's chips became a badge of honor. The Pentium processor, with its cutting-edge performance and clever advertising, cemented Intel's status as a technology leader and a marketing powerhouse. By the end of the 1990s, Intel was at the top of its game. Its processors powered hundreds of millions of computers around the world, and its brand was one of the most recognized in the world. But success brought new challenges. The early 2000s saw the rise of fierce competition, most notably from AMD, which began to challenge Intel's dominance with cheaper and sometimes faster processors. Intel also faced technical hurdles. As their chips grew more powerful and complex, heat and energy consumption became critical issues. The company was forced to rethink its designs, investing heavily in new manufacturing techniques and architectures. One of the most significant moments in Intel's recent history came in 2006, when Apple announced it would transition its Macintosh computers to Intel processors. This was a major coup, signaling a new era of cooperation between two technology giants. The move gave Intel access to a new market and reaffirmed its position as the leading chip maker. For a time, the company seemed unstoppable. But the tech world never stands still. In the 2010s, a new challenge emerged as smartphones and tablets began to eclipse the PC as the primary computing devices. Here, Intel found itself on the back foot. The mobile revolution was powered not by Intel's x86 architecture, but by ARM-based chips, lighter, more efficient, and better suited to the demands of mobile devices. Despite several attempts, Intel struggled to break into the mobile market, and the company was forced to watch as competitors like Qualcomm and Apple raced ahead. The blows kept coming. In 2020, Apple announced another seismic shift. It would stop using Intel chips in its Macs, replacing them with its own M1 processors, built on ARM architecture. The news sent shockwaves through the industry and served as a wake-up call for Intel. The company could no longer rely on its old playbook. It needed to adapt, to innovate, and to find new ways to lead. In response, Intel launched a sweeping transformation. The company doubled down on its manufacturing roots, investing billions of dollars in new fabrication plants, known as fabs, around the world. Under the leadership of CEO Pat Gelsinger, who took the helm in 2021, Intel set out an ambitious new strategy called IDM 2.0. The idea was to leverage Intel's unique position as both a designer and a manufacturer of chips, while also opening its fabs to produce chips for other companies, a move inspired by the success of TSMC, the world's leading contract chip maker. Intel's new approach was about more than just catching up. It aimed to restore the company's role as an industry trailblazer. The company made bold bets on new technologies, from advanced chip packaging to artificial intelligence, and sought to reclaim its status as the heart of the computing world. It was a strategy built on both humility and ambition, a recognition of the challenges ahead, but also a belief that Intel could once again shape the future of technology. Today, Intel stands at a crossroads. The landscape is more competitive and more complex than ever before. Rivals abound, from established giants to nimble startups. The demands of artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and the Internet of Things are pushing the limits of what chips can do. Yet, despite the setbacks and the fierce competition, Intel's story is far from over. The company's willingness to take risks, to reinvent itself, and to bet on the future remains undiminished. What can we learn from Intel's journey? At its core, the story of Intel is about more than just microchips. It's the story of an era, of an industry, and of a digital revolution that has touched every corner of our lives. It is a testament to the power of innovation, the importance of vision, and the necessity of taking bold risks at the right time. The world of technology is relentless. Yesterday's breakthrough can quickly become today's commodity, but those who dare to dream, to adapt, and to lead can shape the future. Intel's legacy is all around us, in every device we use and every connection we make. But perhaps its greatest achievement is not the chips it has produced, but the spirit of possibility it has inspired. In the end, Intel's story is a reminder that the future belongs to those who are willing to imagine it, and then build it, one chip at a time. Subscribe for more videos.